chess has been played for more than 1,500 years, but most of them don't know the reality of this game. There are such mysterious stories that could stun you. Yeah, we are talking about its dramatic history, and in this video we are going to dig deep into it. Let's jump into it. Now, chess is more than just a game. It's a whole trip through time. It has a remarkable history dating back to ancient India. Imagine there were no clocks ticking away the seconds back then, and the pieces were not even the same shapes and sizes as they are today. But consider this, the modern game of chess with all of its rules and techniques did not really take shape until the 16th century. So, can you believe it took so long for the game to take on its current form? But the question is, what exactly is the point of having an official world championship? That only began brewing in the late 19th century. Think about it. There were people out there playing chess like crazy, but it wasn't until then that they truly started competing for the championship. But wait, there's more. Opening moves in theory are examples of methods that we take for granted today. They did not really take shape until the 20th century. Can you picture playing without all of the classic strategies and theories we have today? And get this, computers didn't even get into chess until the late 20th century. It's incredible how much the game has evolved, isn't it? Comment down the best chess move you've ever played. Alright, talk ahead. The question might be knocking in your mind that, where does chess come from? It's pretty interesting stuff. So long before the 600s AD, there was a game in India called Chaturanga. It was like the great-great-grandparent of chess. Can you believe it? Anyway, this game spread like wildfire throughout Asia and Europe. By the 16th century, it had evolved into what we know today as chess. Wow, what a transformation! One of the original chess masters was actually a Spanish priest named Ruy Lopez. He didn't invent the opening move called after him, but he was all about analyzing it. In fact, he wrote a book on the subject in 1561. But here's the catch, back then, chess theory was so fundamental that Lopez's advice included stuff like playing with the light beaming in your opponent's eyes. Can you believe people did that? Chess has gone a long way since those days, right? Now that we know the origin of chess, it's time to unveil the chess theory's revolutionary journey in the 19th century. Chess theory progressed slowly until the mid-18th century. In 1749, the French master François-André Philidor appeared on the scene with his work Analyse du jeu des échecs. This book included various novel opening ideas, as well as Philidor's well-known rook and pawn endgame defense, which is still played today. This book is where Philidor's famous statement, "The pawns are the soul of chess," originally appeared. Chess grew in popularity around the world, and in the mid-19th century, chess sets were standardized. Before the 1850s, chess sets were not at all uniform. We know history feels boring sometimes, but it's gonna be very interesting ahead. Make sure to keep watching. In 1849, Jacques of London introduced a new style of pieces designed by Nathaniel Cook. Howard Staunton, the strongest player of his day, advocated these exact pieces. This new design of pieces, known as the Staunton pattern, quickly gained in popularity and was used in tournaments and clubs around the world. The Staunton pieces and minor variants on them are still thought to be the standard for tournament chess sets. The 19th century also saw the introduction of chess clocks into competitive play. Before chess clocks became commonplace, a single game could run up to 14 hours. The standardization of chess sets and the advent of chess clocks established the equipment required for modern matches and tournaments. Chess was rapidly developing during the 1800s. The most famous games of this time period were swashbuckling attacking games. Strong defensive concepts had not yet been mastered. If a player wasn't sacrificing their pieces right and left in an attempt to violently checkmate their opponent, the game wasn't exciting. Paul Morphy, an American chess player, made his debut during this offensive era. Can you believe Morphy, this unstoppable chess force, defeated every important player in Europe except one, who was no longer at his peak? Morphy embodied all of these romantic and aggressive assaulting ideals. During his tour of Europe, Morphy defeated every important player in the world except Howard Staunton. Morphy decimated Adolf Anderssen, Louis Paulsen, Daniel Herwitz, and a slew of other masters. Morphy and his allies played the legendary Opera House game in 1858, which is Regarded as one of the best games of all time, Morphy throws everything, including the kitchen sink, at his opponents. A wonderful game for all ages. You know what? It's crazy to think that Wilhelm Steinitz and Morphy never faced off in a game of chess. Morphy had already put away his chessboard by the time Steinitz started making waves. Steinitz, on the other hand, gave the game a completely different feel. He was not into flamboyant, overly aggressive behavior. Nah, he preferred the cool, methodical style of play. He'd accept the gambit pawns thrown at him and slam the door shut on his opponents. And you know what? It works. Steinitz's lethal positional play helped him become the first acknowledged world champion in 1886. Alright, except for a few surprises, the Soviet Union and Russia dominated world chess from 1927 to 2006. Alekhine, Botvinnik, Smyslov, Tal, Petrosian, Spassky, Karpov, Kasparov, and Kramnik are big names. Each of these legends has his own approach. You had positional champions like Karpov and Petrosian, and powerful attackers like Tal. And let's not forget dynamic powerhouses Alekhine and Kasparov. A thrilling voyage of strategy and surprises. In 1948, Botvinnik won the title following Alekhine, and it was significant because FIDE had never before organized the event. This bizarre quintuple match mechanism replaced one match. Botvinnik retained the title until 1963, with occasional breaks. Wow, that kept chess fans guessing. Now we are talking about the Botvinnik deal. He was a chess master recognized for his intellect and ability to change styles based on his opponent. He lost the title to Smyslov in '57, but the regulations allowed him to redeem himself the next year. Guess what? His 1958 rematch restored his throne. Tal won the title in 1960, but Botvinnik won another rematch in 1961. FIDE amended the rules after he lost to Petrosian in 1963, removing his automatic rematch privileges. After his reign, Botvinnik became a legendary coach, tutoring Karpov, Kasparov, and Kramnik. Leave a mark! Petrosian defeated Botvinnik in 1963 with his positional play. In '69, Spassky became the 10th world champion after having to defend it in 1966. After Bobby Fischer changed things, his reign ended. Let's talk about Bobby Fischer. The great chess star is an enigma in the chess world. He was the only competitor to Soviet chess dominance in the second half of the 20th century. From 1970 to 1972, Fischer appeared unstoppable, leaving everyone in amazement. In 1971, he met Mark Taimanov in a candidates' match, and astonishingly won all 6 games without losing or drawing. Shortly after, he duplicated the feat against Bent Larsen, setting new records in chess history. Fischer's career reached its height in 1972, when he played Boris Spassky in a contest that captivated the globe and transcended chess. The match was more than simply chess. It represented the heated competition between the United States and the Soviet Union throughout the Cold War era. Despite a tough start, with Fischer losing the first game owing to a simple error, he rebounded after refusing to play the second game due to perceived issues with the playing area. Fischer rallied from 2-0 down to win the best of 24 match with a score of 12.5 to 8.5. However, Fischer's story took an unusual turn following his victory. In an unexpected decision, he refused to defend his championship 3 years later, claiming unreasonable conditions that FIDE, the governing body of chess, could not meet. As a result, he gave up his title and faded from the chess arena until a brief resurgence in 1992, when he met Spassky again. From ancient India to modern tournaments, chess has journeyed through centuries, shaping cultures and minds. Join the ranks of over 600 million players worldwide and explore the fascinating evolution of this timeless game. If you like this video, make sure to like it and hit the subscribe button.